Hello guys, this is Vaish, UPSC 2017, third episode, MCQ 21 to 30 will be discussed here. So this is a very important series for everybody who is going to give your prelims in the next 3 to 5 years, because questions have to be done. Okay, the previous year questions of at least 10 to 15 years has to be done, and only then you will clear this exam. Okay, but you may not understand the importance of it unless you see the questions, because questions have been repeating. Okay, 2011 question will come in 2017, 2017 question will come in 2020, and it will continue. Okay, they have just a bucket of topics, and they keep repeating the questions from the same thing in the same pattern. Okay, only when you analyze you will understand the importance. So we will discuss here. So subscribe to this channel and watch all the episodes, especially in reverse order. Okay, that's how we are uploading also. 2019 first, then 18, then 17. Always go backward, starting from the year in which you are giving your exam. Okay, and newcomers, come and WhatsApp me so that we can get started your preparation. So today's questions, some are science and tech questions, and as I always tell, science, you don't have to prepare anything as such. Okay, because if you start preparing for each topic which they ask, then you will have no time for anything else. They just pick up some random topic and they ask questions, and the options will alone help you solve them, or you have to do the previous year papers, because they'll have a same pattern. Okay, they'll give you the hint in the options itself, and the statements will be something very drastic, and wherever you see drastic statements, that and all you can eliminate easily and you will get the answer directly. Don't study anything for science, only the basics, like what are type of orbits, what are the type of satellites, what is the recent current affair which is happening in science, only that thing. Don't study any textbook and just leave it. Okay, so if you see this question, due to some reasons, if there is a huge fall in the population of species of butterfly, what could be its likely consequences? So what could be? Okay, so it's not like something, there is a fixed answer for this. They are asking you whether it can impact or not. So you have to just see the options now. So pollination of some plants could be adversely affected. Again, telling could be. They are not telling anything for surety. So anyway, when there is a huge fall in butterflies, you know, butterfly act as a pollinator also. So if that is gone too much, okay, then obviously it can adversely affect. So that seems true, and you have to consider that as true. Okay, now there could be a drastic increase in the fungal infection of some cultivated plant. Okay, so one thing, it is a very extreme statement, drastic increase. Another thing, it is a like telling about fungal infection, and this has nothing to do with this butterfly thing. Okay, so this is a made up statement. Then it could lead to a fall in the population of some species of wasp. So it's again could lead some species, so it's like it is a possibility. Okay, and obviously butterfly is part of a food chain, so these things can get affected. Okay, it could, so that is true. So if you see this much easily, without knowing anything about this topic, without preparing anything, but just by looking the meaning and the way the sentence have been phrased, you can come to the answer directly as 1 and 3. Okay, and all these are confirmed with the official answer key also, so it will be all correct only. Okay, so as I told, it's easy with options and common sense. Don't prepare anything else. Now again, next question, same like that. Okay, it is possible to produce algae based biofuel, but what are the likely limitations? Okay, again, likely limitations of developing countries in promoting this industry. Okay, so the algae based biofuel, you know algae separately, you know biofuel separately. Now they're asking the combination of it. So production of algae based biofuel is possible in seas only and not on continent. Okay, so there is no logic to it. Okay, anything which can be developed on the sea, they can develop it on the continent also. This is just a blunder statement. So like that, you have to eliminate this. Then setting up and engineering the algae based biofuel production requires high level of expertise and technology until the construction is completed. So this one, for any industry, you leave algae and biofuel, any industry, any production you have to do which is of a scientific angle to it, obviously you will need expertise and technology. Okay, so that is a true statement. So next time when they ask anything, okay, they let it be any technology, these trick will always work. Okay, just see the phrasing how it is. Then economically viable production necessitates the setting up of large scale facilities which may raise ecological and social concern, which may raise. Okay, so this is also a possibility. Any industry you set up, okay, in this country, always this ecological social concerns will be there, and environmentalists will start fighting, the world UN will start fighting, they'll put out debates, they'll put out discussions, obviously raise ecological concerns will be there. Okay, so that is also true statement. So if you see here, the answer is 2 and 3 only. So like this science question in the exam hall, just spend 1 minute to read it, you will get the answer, and this 2 marks, nobody can take it away from you. Okay, so please attempt all the science questions which comes in your prelims exam. This is again, if you Google all these things you will get it anyway. Okay, I think there's some random article, so that's one thing. I'm not expecting you to go and study this, but just for your reference I've put something, you can go and read it. Okay, there's a US based biofuel thing where they published a big article. That PDF you can also download. Simply search USA algae based biofuel, you will get a PDF. Okay, and if you are interested in science and maybe for a mains GS3 paper and all, you can read about it. In case a question comes, you can write it, but now for prelims this is not required. Okay. Now, National Nutrition Mission. This is a little tricky because maybe if you did not study or if you are not knowing how the government works with different schemes, you will not be able to answer. So, if you see what are the objectives, so it's straightforward asking. Okay, every year 2-3 missions will be asked like this. So, to create awareness relating to malnutrition among pregnant women and lactating mothers. So, it looks believable. Okay, nutrition mission. Obviously, even now, the September 2020, this month is going to be the nutrition month. Prime Minister has declared it, and also in the recent episodes which he talks to the people, there he have told it. Okay. So this is true. Then, to reduce the incidence of anemia among young children, adolescent girls and women. So young children, adolescent girls, women. So these are all first two statements. If you see, it's all about the beneficiaries, and it all looks similar because National Nutrition Mission means there's no reason to keep someone outside of it. Okay, so these two are true. Now, so options, if you see 1 and 2 you need. Okay, so this one you can eliminate, but problem was the options were very difficult. There is this 3 separately with this, 4 separately with this, then without 3, 4 is there. So that is why this question was difficult. And if you see, to promote the consumption of millets, coarse cereals and unpolished rice, this also looks believable, but this actually is false. Okay, so that is why this question you cannot do the trick method here. To promote the consumption of poultry egg, this maybe you could have eliminated, but even if you eliminate, you will not get the answer. Okay, because there is no scheme like this where you are promoting this poultry egg and all. So even if you eliminate 4, still you will be stuck with 1, 2 and 1, 2 and 3. So UPSC rarely does this. Okay, where you have to have the surety of all 4 statements. UPSC rarely does it, but it's your choice. If you want, if you get the cutoff already by not doing this question, please skip this. Okay, else if you are very sure you have studied National Nutrition Mission and you did not read anything about this unpolished rice, or you did not read anything about poultry egg, then you should be more confident and you can eliminate there itself. 3 and 4 you will eliminate and you will directly get the answer. Okay, because everywhere 3 and 4 is there, but that depends on your preparation level. So this is a little difficult question where tricks may not work. Okay, so answer is 1 and 2 only. Okay, at least now by heart it. Anyway, they won't repeat it, they will ask only some new scheme, but still the method, hope you got it. Okay, so there are 2 components to this National Nutrition Mission. One is this information education, that is you are just spreading the information everywhere, and this awareness campaign and all these things you are doing. Then multi-sectoral nutrition program, and this also a very big PDF is there, government PDF. If you search, you will not get anything related to these 2 statements, but you will get about these 2 statements. Okay, so that in my 2020 test and all, I have included that. So this is from the PDF only, government PDF. There's a table also where they are given all the beneficiaries. So my students will get it, others can search the PDF and study. Okay. Now this is kind of solvable because the first statement is there in spectrum, but the second is current affair kind of thing. Okay, I don't think it's directly given in spectrum. So if you see the Factories Act, okay, there is 1881 and there is one more, I think 1891, second one. During one was Liechtenstein and one was some other person, okay, the Viceroy. So it was passed with a view to fix the wages of industrial workers and to allow the workers to form trade unions. Do you think Britishers will do something like this in 1881, like forming trade unions and fixing wages and all? Nothing of that sort is there. This is a false statement. Okay. Then this N.M. Lokhande was a pioneer in organizing the labor movement. So this kind of one trick I will tell you, whenever a personality which is not so popular, okay, it's like not Raja Raman Roy, not like Bal Gangadhar Tilak or Gandhi or someone, then they will 99% put the true statement only, because students may not have prepared for it, and that is one method to do in case you need to do. Okay, not necessarily like you have to definitely try this and go and try all the 100 questions. Don't do that. But in case a thing comes, okay, this is a true statement. Okay, he was actually pioneer, and I think he was there in news that time due to some reason, some labor movement related. That is why they asked this question. So here the answer is 2 only. So Factory Act, already revision chart I have given. See the 2 revision chart. See who is it's Rippon, actually the general, and the other person also given. And here they have fixing the ages, not the wage. Okay, this WAGES, it's actually the age. So they just made it up for themselves, and the other things are given. This is the thing which they did, and it is not like something very great for Indians and all. It's little bit regulated, but for women and children, but it is still hectic only. Okay, so this is about the Factory Act. And about him, if you go and Google, that exact statement which UPSC asked will be here somewhere. Okay, he was a pioneer of the labor movement in India. So now at least study this, so that next time if it repeats, you will know something about him. Okay, only this first page of Wikipedia, nothing else. Don't do anything more. He took over the management of Deen Bandhu. Deen Bandhu was already asked in 2019 prelims. Now, in the context of mitigating the impending global warming, due to anthropogenic emissions of carbon dioxide, which of the following can be potential site for carbon sequestration? This also I told you, whenever science question comes with 3 options and they're asking applications or locations and all, every time it will be true only. Okay, so here also answer is 1, 2 and 3. They're asking where you can do carbon sequestration. Okay, meaning storing the carbon. So here abandoned and uneconomic coal seams, deep oil gas reserves, and deep saline formation. Okay, and these are there in multiple textbooks, multiple places. You cannot study this everything together. So if you Google articles, you can store this in natural sink also, artificial sink also. Okay, so in artificial sink everything will come, this oil reserves, unminable mines. Okay, so this is again one article which I found on the internet, geological sequestration. So there again, if you read almost the same thing they are telling. Okay, the carbon sequestration program, it's again USA website. So their detail they have given. Okay, so India and all will follow usually this only. They will do something and then India will also follow. See, saline formation, unminable coal seams, oil and gas. So all these things, the exact thing they put it on the options for you. Okay, so this one if you want you can pause and read. I just googled and found out, but as I told, don't go and prepare for this. It's not required for you. Okay, just the answer you have to by heart. Now again, Butler Commission, every year I told commissions used to come, committee used to come. Okay, till 2017 I think repeatedly it used to come, and here it's again very straightforward, and we have already taught you also, because all the committees I have given you revision chart and spectrum also. If you see here Butler, okay, and yesterday's video I think already told you this commission, White Clay Commission, where again industrial labor question came. Both were asked in the same year I think. So please see to it that you study all these things. Okay, all committees with the Governor General, with the one-liner, everything I have given, and in test series in details it will be given. This is only for you to by heart. Okay, so here if you see it is about center-state relationships. Okay, Butler. So if you see what is options here, improve the relationship between the government of India and the Indian states. Okay, so it was a direct question, remaining all as different committee. So you can go and find out which committee it is, but it's a straightforward spectrum question. Domestic content requirement. This I already explained when I was explaining 2018 question. Solar panel 1 question was there, and I told you it is related to a 2017 question. This is that question. Okay, so why was it in news? It was related to the developing solar power production in our country. Okay, domestic content requirement, like WTO, you know, where all the trade related tariff, non-tariff barrier, everything they decide, and everybody will go to appeal there if some country is not happy with the trade happening with other countries. So appellate body had declared, India had actually lost here. They told like USA raised concern. Okay, when India declared something that the solar panel content, okay, the domestic content will be like, it will be domestic, meaning from India itself we will use the raw materials. We will not bring it from USA till like we were doing all these years. So that USA raised concern, and WTO told that is actually against this thing. Okay, there is a concept called tariff barrier and non-tariff barrier. It's a basic economic concept you should study. Okay, tariff means through money you are putting, meaning you will put an import duty, you will put any kind of dumping, anything money related, that is tariff. And non-tariff means these kind of things. We will put a policy that from now we will be using domestic content. So there is no money thing involved, but still it will harm the trade of USA. USA people will not be happy. So that is called non-tariff barrier. So that's a simple English literal meaning you have to take, but the examples you have to study. What comes under tariff and what comes under non-tariff. In my economics test and current affair, it's already covered. Okay. So this was the news item that time. And so 2017 and 18 repeatedly they asked the same concept. Now this one again, it's difficult to solve, but as I tell, UPSC always plays with the parent body. Okay, whenever parent body is there, 99% will be false. Here they are asking about a summit, and they're telling periodically held under the aegis of United Nations. Okay, but Nuclear Security Summit has no connection with United Nations. It is actually something which USA do. That too during Obama administration from 2012 to 16. I think they did it 4 times. Okay, I think every year or every 2 years, something like that they did, and now it is not happening, I think. So that is what it is, no connection with United Nations. Then again, International Panel on Fissile Materials is an organ of the International Atomic Energy Agency. So this second body, International Atomic Energy, you would have studied, okay, what it is, what is the headquarters, whether India is a member, such things you would have studied, but this one you would not have studied, and actually there is no connection also. So this is also false. Okay, it is not an organ. So both the places, the parent body, the organization which deals with is given incorrect, and this trick also 99% will work in UPSC. So you can apply in case you need to do in the last half an hour, you need some 20-30 questions extra, go for these kind of questions and it will 90% work. Okay, so you may get some extra bonus marks. This is again about the body. You can sit and read it if you want. It's actually not IEA. It's about some 17 countries came together and started this. Even India is part of it. Okay, so you should know that India is a part of this fissile also, and India is part of Atomic Energy Agency also. Okay, like there are other agency. There is Renewable Energy Agency. There is just International Energy Agency. Okay, IEA. That's also there. So 3 bodies of similar naming conventions there. Try to find out India's role in this. Okay. So if you see, this is here you can see against nuclear terrorism, USA conducts it. First summit was in this thing 2010, I think. Okay, second in 2012. So it's every 2 years it's happening. So 10, 12, 14 and 16, 4 times it happened in USA. Okay, after that I think it did not happen. So you can read more, but they won't repeat these kind of rare bodies often. Now, who among the following can join the national pension system? This is a very interesting question, and it's a very nicely drafted question. They have mixed, I think, 4 different current affairs and put it in the options to confuse the students. Okay, they're asking the beneficiaries who can join. So it's like resident Indian citizens only. One thing, it is a drastic thing only, and it was in news also that time that NRIs can also be part of it. So this is actually false. Okay, they cannot join. Meaning everyone can join. Okay, they are asking who can join, so this only will be wrong. Then persons of age 21 to 55, this is also wrong. You would have never heard a scheme where it is like 21 to 55, so this could be easily eliminated. I think it is 18 to 60 or something. You can go and confirm again in the website. Then these two were the ones were confusing for the students. One is about state government employees joining the services after the date of notification by respective state government. So state government will tell a date, and after that only it will apply. So this looks believable. And the next one, all central government employees, including those of armed forces, joining the service on or after this thing. So one thing is date is given. Another thing, the date is correct only, but the problem is this clause is not there. Okay, this including is wrong. Okay, armed forces are excluded, and that is mentioned in their home page itself. So this becomes wrong, and the answer becomes this. Okay, where there is no number or there is no date or anything. Okay, they're telling respective state government will tell the date. So this is the most believable if you know the UPSC trick method. Okay, this only you are eliminating, age, number you are eliminating, and again a special clause you are eliminating, and you will get the remaining part as the answer. So this trick also you can try in the exam hall, and this is the website. A lot of details are given. I have taken screenshots of some. Okay, you should know this. What is this PRAN number? Okay, and now this new scheme is there, and different schemes are there, and UPSC has asked many old age pension schemes and all. So try to see that you have studied this. Okay, these are again all taken from the home page of this only. So if you see 18 to 60 years, okay, see except armed forces and state government employees. See, it's just the about us page of that body. They have taken everything and given. Okay, so this again date notified by the state government. So all things are taken from here. If you have done this, you could have studied. Obviously, all good test series will obviously cover it. Okay, even we had this question about this scheme. So last question for today, again very interesting, and this is one thing which UPSC have stopped asking now. After 2017, I don't think they asked very particular questions about rivers, but 2020 maybe they'll restart it. Okay, because they are running out of questions. They will ask a river's origin, the tributaries, and which states it passed through. This kind of statements they put, and it will be twisted, but the options may help you. Okay, like here if you see the source of river Teesta is the same as that of Brahmaputra. So here UPSC knows that you will not prepare river Teesta, but you will prepare Brahmaputra. And Brahmaputra, you know, it starts from that Chinese Tibetan area, Mansarovar Lake area, and it's a very lengthy river. If you know that the river will go like this and come like this to Arunachal and come into India like this and go to Bangladesh and exit. Okay, and from the same place, one river which is starting is the I think the Sutlej river or Indus river is there, which goes from here and goes like this to the left towards Pakistan. Okay, so that is a similarity, but Teesta is not such a big river or famous river that it will be from there. Okay, it is actually here India, you have Sikkim here. So from Sikkim only it will start. Okay, so it is in some other glacier also. It has the source of same is the thing which will give you the clue, and you can eliminate this. If you eliminate this, your two options will go away, and then they are themselves telling you that the second statement is true. Okay, and the third one is wrong. Second statement, if you see, it's a difficult one also. River Rangit originates in Sikkim and it's a tributary of river Teesta. This one, nobody is going to study this. Okay, unless you are from that state, nobody will know this. So this is, they themselves are telling you it is true if you eliminate the first commonsensical statement. Then third one is river Teesta flowing into the Bay of Bengal on the border of India and Bangladesh. So again, if it is a Sikkim river, it starts from here and then it has to go through all these things and then come to Bangladesh and then go to the Bay of Bengal. So that means it's still a long river. Okay, so this much long river, if a UPSC aspirant is very serious, he would have studied something. Okay, you did not study this, that means it cannot be true. Okay, this again one trick method. This will not apply to everything, but to solve this question I am telling. Obviously, because we have the answer key now, we can tell all this nonsense to you. But I know in the exam hall it's very difficult. But now because we know the answer, I am telling you the trick. Next time when a question comes, think in that logic of what you know. Okay, you know India-Bangladesh border, you know where is Sikkim, you know how far it is, you know Brahmaputra. So use all your knowledge which you know and ignore whatever extra things are given. You may get the answer. Okay, so here if you see this flows into Bay of Bengal, into this thing and all, this is wrong. Okay, this is not a very big river. It directly goes and joins the Brahmaputra, and then Brahmaputra will go and fall into the Bay of Bengal. Okay, that too in different name. So it's two only. Okay, so this is one method to solve river questions. Okay, use the knowledge which you already have, answer will automatically come out. Okay. This is again the river, both the rivers Rangit and Tista. You can by heart this, because if they repeat, it's a shame that you will not answer it. Okay, so whatever they have asked once, you have to do. And this is one of our revision chart where all the rivers, all the glaciers, everything is given. Here again, if you see, Brahmaputra is from Ansi Glacier, Mansarovar Lake, another name is there. Where is Zorjin? There's another glacier name which is related to that. All the left and right tributaries I have given. Okay, in different columns I have given. One is left tributary, one is right tributary. So this is a detailed thing, and questions, everything what they ask will be solvable from here itself. Okay, so this is given to all my students who is enrolled. This is again the map of that. If you see, Tista is one small river here. This one, it joins the Brahmaputra, and Brahmaputra comes from here where it's called Yarlung-Zanpo. Then it comes through here, then it will get the another name, I forgot what name is here, when it comes to Arunachal Pradesh, Diang or Siang or something, and then it will come into Assam when it will get the name Brahmaputra. Then it will again go here where it is called Jamna. Then it will mix with Ganga. Okay, Ganga and Jamna will meet here, and then it will be called as Meghna here in Bangladesh, and it will fall into the this thing. Okay, Bay of Bengal. So it's a very long process, and many name change happens based on which state or which country it passes through. Okay, so Brahmaputra is a very important river for you. And these are all the 2020 revision charts. The admit card is out, and we expect you have done all the hard work. Now it's time for you to revise from the best source. So we are providing you every subject test in a very affordable pack kind of format, and it will be given to you immediately when you enroll. So please see to it that you go and clear this exam, because I want you to be the best aspirants in the country and come back for joining the mains program or come and ask guidance for mains. We will be always there to help you. Okay, so I'll come up with the next video soon. Till then, enjoy your learning. Thank you and have a nice day.